Hello everybody, Marcy here. Welcome to my craft room. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Here in the US, we had a 3-day weekend for Memorial Day. And today, as I'm filming, actually happens to be my daughter's birthday. She's 25 years old. My baby is 25. Yeah, so happy birthday, Camille. We actually celebrated last Friday for her, and then her husband's birthday is also in May 18th, so we did a combined celebration because we were on the cruise for Jonathan's birthday. And actually we had purchased Camille her present a couple of months ago. She needed a desk and stuff for studying and a comfy chair. She was starting her master's program, as you know, this semester, and so she just needed a good place to study, and so we went ahead and contributed towards that 2 months ago. So she's been using her present for the last 2 months. Anyway, I hope all of you had a great weekend. If you're not in the US, then I hope that you enjoyed your weekend as well, even though it was only a 2-dayer probably. Well, we are back from our excursion to Alaska, and I will talk more about that probably in the next video because I want to do some editing and show you some fun stuff that we saw, and I just don't have time to do that today, to do all the editing. I have an appointment right after this, and then Camille wants to go to a movie tonight, and I think we should. So I'm going to try to get everything done and prepped before we decide to go do that this evening. I must confess, I don't have any real plan. I kind of went through my stuff of unfinished projects or things that I would like to do on camera, and they're all so involved. I just don't have the creative energy to do anything super involved. But I pulled out a couple of things. I pulled out this package of envelopes that I left myself the helpful note, envelopes to decorate in all kinds of ways. So who knows what that's going to be? We will see. And then I have a few things that I had stashed away to do decoupaging with napkin on it, and I'll probably just use glue stick today. I don't want to get all messy, and then if I decide later, I can go over them with like the spray finish in a can. Sometimes I do that and it just gives it a nice seal coat, so worry about that down the road. Anyway, so that's my plan for today, and I do have some ephemera pieces that I'd gotten at Hobby Lobby, just a generic pack, and maybe we can use those to decorate with. So we'll just see what happens, what comes out of this little brain of mine today. And then next time we'll talk a little bit more about our trip, and I'll have a better planned out project for you. But since I wanted to edit in some of that footage and show you some of the things that we saw, I just don't have time to do that all today. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. If you're wanting to craft along, grab your stuff, and if you are wanting to just listen and watch, go get yourself comfy. And then when we return, we will dive right into this. So one of the first things I wanted to do, or what I am seeing in my mind's eye, is to decorate this black envelope with metallic ink. Excuse me, I'm going to adjust my camera just a bit because I see that it is way high and a little bit off. There we go. That's better. Here we go. To that end, I pulled out this old metallic StazOn ink pad. I've got the ink kind of trying to settle. I honestly don't know if it'll work because I have had it for years and years. At one point, it looks like I tried to ink the pad and then it got all hard. So that may be a bust. I don't know. But I just see silver ink in my mind on here. I could be crazy. I don't know. Probably am. This one I would like to stamp on as well. So I did bring over a few inks. Not very many. I'm just kind of going with neutrals today. Nothing spectacular. So I've got the Vintage Photo, my Walnut Stain, which actually happens to be one of my favorites, and I thought Pumice Stone might be nice. And then I just brought over 2 stamps and a stencil. Actually, this counts as 3 stamps because there's 2 in that package, but just a basic script, and then this one that I've shown you guys before. Here's my stencil. I think that'd be kind of cool in the background. So we'll just play around for 40 minutes and see what happens, and hopefully I won't jibber jabber too much. I went to Tuesday morning the other day. I'm still wanting to really kind of I'm in the mood to clean things out, and so I was making donations, but then of course I had to go refill my refill my supply. No, I'm kidding. That's what it feels like though. So I was doing errands, and one of my stops was to go into Tuesday Morning. I love shopping there for discount supplies, but sadly they are going out of business nationwide. You know, they kind of did a partial, the lady that worked there, she said they had done a partial bankruptcy earlier, and they tried to go back and declare bankruptcy again, and the court said, no, you have to pay all your creditors, which, hello, yeah, you do. So they're just going out of business everywhere, and it was the saddest thing. Felt like a funeral, and I'm not saying that lightly. It was really just very sad and mostly empty now. I don't know when their final day will be to close up, but I like to buy my home goods there, towels and bedding and stuff, and I found all kinds of stuff. They even had good dog toys, but no dog toys this time, and I thought, well, let's give one last hurrah for some pretty napkins. And so I found a couple of sets. Let's see. And that's about it. Found a sheet set. And then, of course, that's also one of my most favorite places was to find craft supplies, you know, at a good price when they're clearancing it, but it was just sparse. In fact, just a couple of months ago when I was there, I got some washi tape and stuff, and I mean, there's just nothing. So that's sad to see that go. I'm really disappointed about that. Where's my scraper thing? Probably should be getting out my brayer, my pie crust brayer, but it's over, put away. I put everything away before we left for our trip, so it was nice to come back to a clean and tidy craft room. But apparently I clean and tidied my brain so well that it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything to give me today. So yeah. But that was sad. Over the weekend, did I already say this? We celebrated Camille and Jonathan's birthdays. I have started this video 4 times, so I literally don't remember what I just said in my last 4 attempts to begin this video. I can never get this close enough. It's always just a little bit ragged, and I'm always afraid I'm gonna cut the envelope open. I guess if I do, I can just glue it back together, right? It won't be the end of the world. Anyway, yeah, so over the weekend, on Friday, we celebrated her birthday and Jonathan's birthday because we were gone on our trip. So we've actually had kind of like 2 3-day weekends in a row because our cruise ended on Sunday, and then we drove back last Monday, which was the 22nd. And then so we kind of had a short week. I've been busy just kind of cleaning up stuff and organizing. We had an appointment. We had to get our heating and cooling system looked at. Well, we didn't have to get it looked at. We were on a maintenance plan, and they already came and looked at it, but they said the cooling system is pretty much shot, and it's 17 years old. We are the original owners on this house, so we have now lived pretty much through the life cycle of everything in this house. The appliances pooped out after 2 years, so or 2 to 4, depending on which appliance it was. So we've already replaced those twice. And but now we're going to be getting into the bigger maintenance things like windows and heating and air and all the stuff, siding. We have painted inside off and on. That's not been a big deal. And we, as you know, we did our inside remodel a couple of years ago. So it's just, we're at that season. So we found that out. And so that's going to be one of the things that we are getting done in the next couple of weeks. So he said at the time that it was installed, it was actually one of the newer systems on the market, and it was pretty energy efficient. The newer ones are even more energy efficient, and they hold less of the gas, whatever gas. He told us the name, but I'm not a heating and cooling specialist, so R something. there's some kind of gas that it uses, and it's not, you know, it's powered by natural gas, but then it has the other coolant in it, right? So whatever our existing system was using, and it was kind of the latest and greatest at the time, but it's a little bit more than we actually need to cool our space. It's a little bit bigger, and they have a different coolant now that's a lot less expensive to replace, because apparently it does eventually, over time, you lose some of that gas that's in there, so they can refill it. And the one it's currently running on is something like $130 a gallon, or $180. Yeah, they measure the gas in gallons, and the new one is a lot less than that. So if we run out of the Freon or whatever again, we can replace it a lot cheaper. So that was a whole long explanation you probably didn't really care about, but that's what's going on in our life. Yeah, so we had that happen this week. After we got back, we had that appointment scheduled for after we were back. And then, excuse me, I'm gonna crinkle. And then, yeah, I've just been kind of cleaning up and doing all kinds of stuff. So went to Tuesday morning to just check it out. I've been making donations. I just had a bunch of stuff set aside that needed to go to the thrift store. So I finally got it out of my house and to the thrift store. It felt really nice. Let's see, let's get... Is that enough, do you think? Maybe a little bit up there. I don't know about final decorating quite yet. We'll just get these faces down. Anyway, so that has been our week, and then it was the holiday, and it was somewhere around last Wednesday that Camille and Jonathan said, yeah, let's do our birthday on Friday. So because they have May birthdays, my girls have May birthdays, and then my son-in-law and his sister both have May birthdays. So between our family and his family, we have to juggle when we celebrate all of the May birthdays. And then Jonathan has a little cousin who was born a couple of years ago, and he had complications at birth. So he has cerebral palsy, and his digestion is not good. He's only 2, and he's fighting a big battle already, but it's his birthday also. So they were like, we have to celebrate me and Jonathan's birthday with Jonathan's family on Monday. We have to celebrate Emmett's birthday on Saturday, and we have church and worship on Sunday. So I guess we can do this on Friday. They told us this last Wednesday. I was like, oh, okay. So we quickly got it all worked out. But yeah, so it's been kind of a busy week. Even with a holiday and a vacation and all that, we've had a lot going on all of a sudden, and it wasn't really in my plan. But that's just how it worked out. Yeah, so what have you guys had going on? Did you do anything special for your Memorial Day holiday? Sometimes we do go and visit our grave sites of our family and stuff, and other years we just don't. Honestly, it just kind of depends on what's happening and that sort of thing, as to whether or not, how much we do. But my husband, he said he was really missing, we haven't gone to his parents or my dad's for a couple years, so he wanted to go to his mom and dad's gravesite, and I don't know if he actually did. He was going to go do that on Saturday. He went out for a bit, but he didn't say that if he did that or not. My dad he's not buried in our local area. He's buried about an hour away in Mountain Home, where my mom grew up, because that's where she grew up. And also they had a really nice area for veterans there. And so I'm gonna have to file this down later, get all those scraggy edges off, but I don't have a file here today, right now. Anyway, so he's buried over there. And So it's a bit of a drive. You have to plan to go. Okay, I'm looking for some sort of backing for that, and you know, I enjoy using old book pages and fly leaves and stuff. So we will do that. This glue page is about it on its last legs here. So now this is going to become a journal card. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a tradition that you guys do, any of you, if you go and visit your loved ones on Memorial Day or not. Then yesterday, the actual holiday, we decided we needed to get out. So we took the dog to a doggy park, took a little drive, took her to a dog park, and met some really nice people. Total random strangers. I don't usually talk to random strangers, but they, you know, when you're there connecting over your dog, dog people are pretty friendly for the most part. So Chloe made a new friend, and we met some really nice people and had a good chat. Probably 30 to 40 minutes just hanging out while the dogs played. It was fun. I have to say, one thing about being on a cruise is that there is a lot of walking, not just when you're in port, but back and forth around the ship. And I was looking forward to that, frankly. Also, the stairs, you know, they have stairs. So if you're wanting to combat the fact that there's a lot of really good food that you're wanting to eat, you can take the stairs as you go up and down 5 to 6 levels for your stateroom. Actually, we were, our kids paid for a balcony room, and so did my mom, and then we just decided to stay across the hall, and ours did not have a balcony, so it was a little bit less. So it was less of a stateroom, even though they call it stateroom. But anyway, we just had basically what looks like a small hotel room. And I have to say, I am so impressed at how they use space. Look, you can see the wording coming through the napkin. That looks kind of cool. But the use of space on these ships is just incredible. It is so interesting to just figure out how they fit everything into small spaces, you know, small space living, and they do a really good job, especially in the bathrooms. I am so impressed by the bathrooms. I know it sounds weird, but I am. Okay, where's that other one? Here's my envelope. Here's a journal card. Let's see. I had this out because I thought it would be just something kind of cute. I don't like this napkin. Let's kiss it goodbye. Bye, napkin. I used it once long ago on another project, and I never liked how the project turned out, so I don't see that I need to still hang on to that. This will just end up being a cute little piece of ephemera. So, I hope this stays on there. This is kind of slick, and I'm not sure about how well glue stick adheres to slick surfaces or if it will come off over time. But we will worry about that another day. I keep getting my finger in the glue. There we go. Here's just a little scrap. It's got some script. It's got a partial butterfly. And what I liked about this is that you should be able to see the numbers on this tiny little flash card through the background. I just pulled out one day, a bunch of random stuff. I was like, oh, I wonder how this would look if I decoupaged on it. And then I never got around to it. So I'm sorry if this is kind of boring. Didn't sign up to see a video on decoupage today, but this is what I'm doing at the moment. This is what's coming into my head, so that's what we're gonna go with. Oh, boy, I'm really bad at trimming these nicely. Yeah, so walking on the cruise ship, but when I'm home, you know, to be honest, some days like today, if I'm just going to be in my craft room or whatever, and I'm just filming, I barely get 2,000 steps in, usually about 1,500, and that's deplorable, I know, but I just have a hard time just going walking for the sake of walking. I know. I need to have a purpose in my walk, which is dumb, but it's just the way I roll. It's easier for me when I have a purpose and that is built into it, you know. Okay, these need something more. These are flashcards from Camille's theology class, so if some of these definitions and words seem a bit alarming, that's why. I'm gonna just end up covering them. But I mean, who wants to see systemic evil in the background? I don't mind omnipresent, omniscience, and omnipotence. Either in soteriology, Martin Luther, I don't remember who Nephesh was. Animated, breathing, conscious, and living being. Nephesh, oh, that's Hebrew. Hamartia, which is missing the mark or the definition of sin. Okay, cool. So these probably would be okay to just have a napkin over the top and see through on the back, but these probably need to be covered a little bit better with something else. So let's find something else. I shoved some stuff in this. Oh, it's all Christmas. Well, I don't know that I want Christmas in that stack. These are a little bit bright. These are just random pieces of paper. So I don't know. Don't know that any of these are gonna flip my switch either, but they're all so bright, you know. First of all, they gotta be big enough. So let's get to the part that might have big enough pieces. Very bright, very bold. It's got to be kind of bright though to cover up Nephesh. So what if, yep, okay. I think wet glue might work better for this one. Actually, I'm going to glue down this side with the definition because there's more to cover up, and this is, you know, you can't see through that, so that'll be better. And then if I just use something plain on the back, this is not as obnoxious if it shows through. Okay, I could potentially wrap that around. I wonder, I saw like a strip over here, just this random strip of accounting paper, so I wonder if I can do something like that. It's not much in the way of journaling lines, or maybe this could be the front and this could be the back. Oh, that's a thought. Okay, alrighty, we'll go with that. Then I can just wrap this whole thing around. Yeah, so definitely walking on the cruise, very nice. I do miss it. You know, being up and moving around, but at the same time, when you're home, you have other things to do, right? When you're on the ship, somebody else is doing the driving, the cooking, the cleaning, the entertaining, the everything. So it is kind of nice to just get away from all that. I wonder if I just tear this, I might lose some of the numbers, but I don't want the holes so that this shows through. So let's try that. There we go. Nice. And we'll figure out something to put on it. Anyway, so it's nice to just, you know, walk around and get all that activity in, but boy, you do a lot of walking. And my mom, poor thing, she fell on the ice a few years ago and landed on one of her knees, and boy, she is so stiff. So too much walking, like she couldn't take the stairs, but she'll do it. She'll try to kill herself and do it anyway. But I need to take the stairs because I need to burn off the calories. So we had to kind of do a back and forth between who's riding with mom on the elevator. Not that she can't ride by herself. She just didn't wanna, and she would try to take the stairs. And she's recently gone to physical therapy for it. And so she's like, well, I had one physical therapy session. I'm like, yeah, but you shouldn't climb, you know, 5 sets of stairs every day. Did figure out, if I want to simulate my experience on this ship, because we have stairs in our home, that I need to do like 5 sets of my stairs about 5 to 6 times a day to simulate the activity level on the ship. So 5 sets up and down my stairs, because it's the same number of stairs, and do that at least 5 times a day. And then do about 3 more times a day, 2 sets of up and down the stairs. So I don't know, what is that? 5 times 5 is 25, and 6, so about 31 times up and down my stairs. And that will simulate my stair activity on the ship. But I can't get in, you know, the miles and miles of walking. Okay, that. I'm just gonna use this piece of leftover napkin that's dry, because there's a little bit of glue there and I want it to get soaked up. Okay, there's that. And let's see, did we have another one? This is too bright for me, does not excite me. I'll pull these over so you can see what we're doing. These are nice. That one's nice, and look, it has like its own writing lines. This is just blue paper. There's that one. Too bright for me. You're probably going to recognize some of these because I flipped through the same basic stash every time. Although some of these are new. Like, look at that one. This one's got a little bit heavier weight to it. I like something like the plaid with polka dot, or maybe I'll just do polka dot, just straight polka dot, if I do it at all. Cinderella. That's old. Old. I don't have that many to decorate. But. And have you ever noticed, like, every pack has a ton of green in it? Green. So much green. Okay. Why? Why all the green? It's crazy. I'm gonna set those aside. Now, for the pink. See, it's kind of like built-in journaling lines again. And I like that we can just wrap this around. You can just wrap this around the card. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna just put glue stick in the middle and a little bit of wet glue around the edge. I think that will be sufficient. There we go. So what else was I going to talk to you about? I can't remember. I mean, I can still talk to you a little bit about our trip, but I won't be able to splice in the pretty pictures, so I don't want to say too much. Oh, on my bucket list, I had the 5 things, with which 4 I can only remember right now. But, you know, I wanted to see whales, the northern lights, a bear in the wild, a glacier. What was the other thing that I can't remember what I wanted to see? And I saw some of them, but not all of them. Oh, totem pole, I think. Was totem pole one of them? So we saw some bears. They weren't very wild. They were at a rescue rehabitat center. And truthfully, I don't think we were really in our places where we were. We weren't really out in the woods too much, so wouldn't have probably seen much. We went to a bald eagle or a raptor center, which is funny because right here where I live, we have what's called the World Center for Birds of Prey. So apparently they didn't notify Alaska because Alaska has the Raptor Center. But in Sitka, was it Sitka? No. It was in Juneau. They have like this huge bald eagle population. And so they have the Raptor Center because they are rescuing all kinds of birds. But some of them are bald eagles. So we did go to that. So I saw, and then part of that tour was that we went to the bear habitat rescue thing, which frankly was a little overrated, I'm not gonna lie. So my bears were not in the wild. They were ones that have been rescued but won't be released back into the wild because they wouldn't make it out there at all. But a bunch of them they do release into the wild. And then did not get to see the northern lights. My daughter has some kind of app that could track them, like the weather systems that create them or whatever. And so she was showing us on this app that it said that they were going to be viewing just like right outside. We were right outside of the viewing range for where they might turn up. So that was a bit of a disappointment, but not to be unexpected because, I mean, I haven't seen them thus far in my life, so there's no guarantee I ever will, because just where I live. There are times they dip down into Idaho, but not. That's rare, and you have to be in the right conditions, in the right spot to see them, so. Not where I live. Doesn't happen. And then didn't see northern lights. Did not really see a bear in the wild. We did see a glacier. Yay! Saw a couple of glaciers. Really amazing and really good talks on the ship. They did a really good job of keeping you informed about what you were going to see and what the wildlife was. And then they would have wildlife spotting sessions from time to time up on the deck. They have a wildlife expert, naturalist. Her name is Natalie Tan, and so her Instagram and I think she had a Facebook page are both Nat Tan, which is the same spelled backward and forward. I don't know if she did that on purpose, but I thought that was kind of cool. And then yeah, so she kind of told us about things we could expect to find. Did I say whale? One of the things I wanted to see was a whale. That was on my bucket list, and that we did see. That was incredible. So I will show you footage next time of this amazing little whale. I fell in love with humpback whales. I never thought I'd be a whale lover, but as I learned about them and just their qualities and characteristics and personality, and not just that they're endangered, but gosh, they are amazing, fantastic creatures. So if you're ever stranded at sea, floating in the open ocean, you definitely want a humpback to come and help you out, because they will. Just massive. So we had an amazing viewing session when we were in Sitka of whales. And then and I don't want to say any more about it because it'll ruin the surprise. It just warmed my heart. It was great. And then so I saw the glacier, saw the whales, did not see northern lights, did not see bears in the wild, did see totem poles. Went to one of the state parks on the tour that we went to was totem poles. That was in Ketchikan. Is that right? Yes, Ketchikan. Cute town. My goodness, it's so colorful. Well, the harbor is cute, but when you drive out away from town, it's kind of, well, it looks like a mountain town where, you know, things are spaced out and everything looks a little bit untidy, just like the mountains of Idaho. Anyway, oh, I did not bring over my corner rounder. I want to round those. That might have to wait as well. Yeah, so, but really cute in the harbor. So yeah, it was a really good time. So yesterday and Sunday, most of what we have done this weekend is just sit and watch TV. I don't know why I put my glue page up there and then went and got out a new glue page, but you know, that's just the person I am. So anyway, we just sat down and I don't know, we just were kind of ready to just do absolutely nothing. So we watched, we started a series that has been in my queue for a long time. It's on Hulu. It's a Hulu presentation. It is fantastic, and probably all of you have already seen it because it's been out for like a year. Called Dope Sick, about the OxyContin crisis in America and how that was created basically by the company that manufactures the drug, and really eye-opening. And I have to say, I mean, we are fortunate because we've not none of us in our immediate circle even really have been in a situation where oxy was prescribed for somebody, or was injured severely enough that that was prescribed for them, although I know many people have been, just not in our immediate circle. And just the addictiveness of it and the lies that were told about it. But it's an 8-episode series, and we sat down and we watched the first 3 episodes on Saturday, and then Sunday we were like, yeah, we need to finish this. And so we sat down. I was like, you know what? Let's for once just turn on the TV in the afternoon. And we did. And we watched all the other 5 episodes on Sunday. Finished it up. Really good series, though. I cannot say enough good things about it. I'm looking for some more backing paper here. Don't think I have any. Don't think I got any out. Let's do, with this pretty brown, or the green, pretty green, let's do this darker brown. Then, man, I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so. Where are we at? We're at just a little bit of time left, so I'll finish this up. I want to eat before I go. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much our weekend. It was watching TV, which sounds terrible, terribly lazy, but it was really good. And then we watched that, and then we watched a movie. What movie did we watch? We watched one that was mostly for entertainment. But then Tom was watching the documentary called Air, A-I-R, and it's about Nike and their romancing of Michael Jordan and creating the shoe just for Michael Jordan. And it has an amazing cast. It's got like Matt Damon, and it's got Ben Affleck, and it's got people who know I can't remember. Jason Bateman is in it, and I mean, really, really terrific cast. So we watched that. That was really good. And was it several parts? I don't remember now. And then we also watched The Post, which I am also behind on actually seeing. It has Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks in it, and another all-star cast. I mean, even like you'll recognize people in the background that don't have major roles, but they are well-known stars. It was really good. So that was about Diane, what was her last name? Oh, no! That had writing on the backside. Well, I wish I had realized that. Okay, I don't want to show you. There's addresses. I'm going to have to redo that. Or I can make this the back and put... No, I can't. This was from an order, so I have to fix that. I can't do that one right now. Let's do some stenciling. Anyway, so we watched The Post. Really, also very good, and about just kind of the lady that owned the Washington Post, and her first she was trying to go from small local paper to bigger national paper, and the story that broke that was about what was happening in Vietnam. And anyway, really good movie. That one's just a movie, so you can watch that. So between The Post and Air and the Dope Sick Show, that was really good. And then we just watched a goofy one that had Noah Wyle and the lady that plays the owner of the soccer team in Ted Lasso, Sonia Wanger, something. Now I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oh, The Librarian, but then it has a subtitle, something about the spear, In Search of the Spear or something. Anyway, it was kind of goofy, but it was enough entertaining. Let's see. Ooh, that looks nice, doesn't it? I don't think that needs anything else right there. I like these old ones because the finish on them is not slick, it's just matte, and so it takes the ink really well. Let's do shall. We shall. Let's do it. I don't know why I always put it on the left. Just feels like the right thing to do. Let's orient that one to the right. I mean, because if this isn't right, I can always just turn it over, depending on what I find to put on the front. Yeah, so we've had a really fantastic weekend of TV watching. Anyway, really good. Really good couple of weeks, but now I need to get back in here and get after it. Yeah. But I just have all kinds of things I'm wanting to take care of around the house. So I'm trying to figure out how to manage all of that. You know, because there's only so much time and energy in this life. So let's put these here. Let's put this and this. Let's see what we can decorate. What do we got in here? I'm going to make a mess, of course. Let's get that out of the way. I'm going to scoot that over there. So remember, if we have a second, if we find something for the envelope, here it is too. So I've got 2 of the napkin ones, a paper, and 2 stenciled ones. And you know what? I'm looking at this, how blank it is right there. There should be enough ink left. I can just give it a hint right in the middle. Nice. Okay. Good enough. So do we want big pieces or little pieces? Wow, these feel they're kind of slightly slick, but they've got a little, I don't know what the word is. They kind of stick together too. Let's see, here's a beautiful rose. These are a match between realistic and, oh, that blends in, darn it. Realistic images and kind of cutesy pie images. Not keen on that. What is that? It's not. Look at that. What is that? What? I don't know. I'm not big on, I don't know. I like palm trees. I just don't like palm in my decorating. Let's see. There's that. It's a little big. And I see this. Boy, we're going to have a lot of flowers. Now, I put that on there in such a way that if I wanted this to be a journal card sideways, we could do that. We could almost go any direction, but we could do that, maybe. Ooh. Oh, golly, that's pretty. Oh, that's really pretty. Does it stand out enough? It might. If I do this, I could put a little book page behind that, eh? I like these better over here. Sunflowers. These may be a little basic just because I don't have my word stickers out. I suppose I could reach around me and grab them. Gosh, these are really pretty. So these are from Hobby Lobby, the paper studio. It's just one of their ephemera packs. Get 50 pieces and it looks like that. Wow. Well, I'm glad I did that. I have some tickets back here that might work behind something. If they don't stand out enough there, they might stand out enough over there. Keep that in mind. Wow, some of these are quite large. Again, with the weird bamboo fan thing. You know, actually, I used to be enamored with those way back, but not so much anymore. Not my style. Okay, so these are all too big for this. Too big. Let's back up and go back to something a little smaller, and we'll just see this. This has some darker stuff in it. Maybe if I put it on a book page. Which way is up? That way? Can you see? Am I in frame there? There we go. I know, I love these roses. These are I'm gonna have to separate this out and put them in my rose pack. This one's just tiny. That's really pretty. That one. I wish that would fit on there because it's really pretty, but it just blends in too much. Okay, and here's all the little ones. I'm not 100% sold on it. I like this color, but I don't think I like that flower. There's those ginormous butterflies, more butterflies. Yeah, I haven't opened this pack yet, so I'll have to separate it out. Not quite the right shade. I feel like I have a lot of the same kind of butterfly because I bought those ones at the Dollar Tree, but on the other hand, I don't think blue is quite the shade we're going for. Ooh, that one's pretty. Look at that one. That also won't work, but that's really pretty. So far, I'm not seeing anything for my one down here, this envelope. I don't think, no, wrong color scheme. I think these flowers are gonna be too pale. Ooh, I see some birds though. Now to be cliche, and in all honesty, this could go any way we want it to. So this little bird, he might work. Okay. I see another bird here. He's a little too small, so I'm not going to do him. That's a duplicate of that one. Here's a blue bird. Don't need blue. Although I do have some things covered with blue napkins. So. Ooh. 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 Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. Back to this. Actually, I really think that flower could go either direction as well. It will just depend on, I think it's supposed to go like this based on how those are. Oh, nice. We'll just put some book page or music or something behind it. Not finding anything for the envelope though. Nothing that really tickles my fancy. Unless, nope, not enough, not enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to divide that up later. And we never did get back to the silver ink, but you know what? Look, it's just sitting on top of the ink pad. It's not sinking in. Bummer. I think this is gonna have to just go. It's so old. I bought it on clearance. And I think it was kind of dry when I did try to use it, so goodbye. Anyway. Okay, music. Music, music, music. Let's see, I have a folder here that has smaller text and smaller music pieces. Ooh, got my Hebrew page. I got that little piece right there. I don't know if the Hebrew is the right color today. Might not be. This has green, so that's kind of cool. Even though it's talking about mollusks, we're going to look at the color. There's Romeo and Juliet, I believe, yep. And that's a piece of scrapbook paper. So there's that. If I had a smaller piece of music, I would be extremely happy. Sorry, I'm digging through my drawer down here. My husband had an appointment today. He's probably going to be home very soon. He had to go to the eye doctor, so don't know how he's driving home. His eyes don't react to the dilation like mine do. When I go, which my appointment is next week, I plan them for in the morning because my eyes stay dilated all day long. It's exhausting, gives me a headache. I think I've talked about this before. Anyway, he doesn't have that issue. That's kind of a gray color. I want that. He doesn't have that problem, so I don't know how he's going to work for the rest of the day, though. I asked him, and he had no answer for that question. Okay, let's start with the green, because I know we are getting low on time. Because see how that is? Let's take off the word mollusks, because we don't care about that. At least I don't. If you do, I apologize. I don't have my tear ruler here. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. I don't have any ruler over here. I'll just tear by hand. Okay, and we wanted to see some of that there. Or do we want it behind this one? We'll put that behind that one. Behind this one, we will put... I'm going to put this one here, I think. It's teeny tiny Bible text. And I think I want behind this one, I could do words. Is that the right shade? Let's make sure we want that color. Maybe I do want something with more brown in it. I do want darker. Maybe I do want the Hebrew. Yeah, these are all, they kind of blend into the background of the card, don't they? That's no good. Could. Here's the scrap. It kind of covers up the... no. Covers up my stenciling. So I'm going to try to hurry. If he comes home, then I will stop the camera, finish him off, and give you a final view, okay? I don't have a quote for the day. I just haven't gotten that far, and I apologize. I usually do, but not today. Let's grab the Hebrew. I have this one, this piece here. See, I'm just wanting to see, oh, you can kind of see the color back through there. You can see the stenciling. Somebody wrote notes. Oh, he's here. Yeah, he just pulled in. So I'm going to end this here and then I'll come back and show you them after they're done. Okay, here we are. Sorry for the abrupt ending earlier. My husband did come home, but it was time for me to go to my appointment anyway. So I went ahead and finished these off screen, obviously, like I told you I was going to do. And this is what we have. They're a little bit simple, but that's okay because I am... you know, I just didn't have a lot of time today and I may go back and add things later. It just kind of depends on what I want to do. I'm sorry about the lighting because it is quite late now and it looks kind of yellow. I think because my phone is in nighttime mode, let's see if I can fix that. It's kind of adjusting the brightness and the tint. So anyway, I've tried fiddling with it, but it still looks kind of yellowish in the background. So here's the first one. You saw me pair these up. I went ahead and added a tab here, added a little bit of scrap of Hebrew page and just inked around the edges. I like that the tab matches. I may decide later to go back and add a word label up there, just depends. Here's one of the flash cards. I've got the stenciling here and then we layered it on the green book. And then I used a scrap of green, the painter's paper, masking paper, on the back, so I thought that tied in very nicely. On the envelope, again, I just kept it kind of simple. I might decide later to add a label up here or another label, you know, just kind of overlap one down here. I'm not sure yet. I was playing around too with kind of a bird, little piece of a ephemera that was in a bird shape, so it didn't look quite right, so that could be another option, a butterfly or a bird or something up there too. So this is how this looks. Again, I inked it. Here's the flap. I left this plain until I know how I'm going to use it on a page. And then I just tucked a couple of pieces inside because it's always really nice to have ephemera inside the envelope already, so you don't have to figure out what to fill it with. So these are just a couple of different random pieces from those boxes by Your Creative Studio. And this is a real postage stamp from that ginormous binder I bought last year of postage stamps. This is the other flashcard. This is the math one. I covered it with a piece of paper. This is from a pattern, you know, tissue paper from a pattern. And I just used the plain part and covered over it. So you should be able to write over it, but it kind of muted down the flashcard. You can still tell it's a flashcard. And here's the front layered up over some Hebrew book page. I went ahead and redid the stencil over the top of the book page, but now that it's all finished, you really can't tell. So didn't really need to be done. This is the tiny little flashcard, so you can kind of see the 3 plus 5, I think it was, back there. And then I just added a little scrap of white paper for writing space on the back. Looks like it has a wrinkle. And again, all the edges were inked. I rounded the corners here and on this one. This was that tag that came off of something. It was packaging. I layered a couple of old postage stamps up here in the corner. I just felt like it needed something, and then I put just this little word here. It says priceless. I like how it turned out though. And you saw me cover it, so you can kind of see the words from the label as well as the words from the book page. It'll be okay to write over. And then this last one went in a masculine direction. I just think it's really cute. And I like how I layered him up over the circle. It kind of reminds me of those old-timey movies where the ginormous moon would be in the background. This was a piece of ephemera. I can't remember what pack now these were from. I showed them a while ago on my channel, but they look like books, and so I just have him sitting there on the books with this ginormous moon-like image in the background. It also kind of has the feel of a postcard on it. So, and then this was the one that I had accidentally covered the brown paper or the wrong side, and it had the writing on it, so I just went ahead and put a new piece of brown paper over that. There we go. I just wanted to take a second to arrange those, get them all back in the shot correctly. So that's what we have for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry there's no quote. I just didn't get that organized. We had a good time at the movie. We saw The Little Mermaid, the new live action version, and it's really, really good. They added a couple of extra songs and some extra parts to the storyline that I feel like they just really enhanced the storyline. It's really done very well. So if you get a chance to see it, I hope you'll go. So that's a wrap for today. Till next time, guys, be inspired, do something creative today, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye now.